Hi everyone, my name is Anita Ladhani. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and an energy practitioner. And today I want to welcome you to the BadAss Club. Now, if that word offends you, stay with me for a minute because I'm going to explain what I mean by that, okay? So what does it mean to be part of the BadAss Club, to be a badass? A badass to me is a powerhouse. It's someone who authentically owns who they are, do not apologize for who they are, and they live their life being true to who they are. So how do you know if you're a badass? Well, we usually don't. Those of us who are badasses, and I know that I finally, at my age, I can say I am one. It took a long time to own myself. Now, there's no arrogance in this. This is not about, any kind of, putting other people down. This is just about being authentically and respectfully owning who you are, God's given child, right? So most of us who are badasses have no idea growing up that we are incredibly amazing. We usually have been the ones who have been misfits. We've been the one who have been we didn't belong. We were the weird ones. We were the ones that usually got bullied. We were the ones that got made fun of whether it was in our families, that they just kind of made fun of us lovingly. We were the absent-minded ones. We were the ones that just were goofy and silly. And we just didn't quite follow the cool norms of society, right? We were the ones that didn't get picked for the teams. We were the ones that, kind of didn't quite fit in. We were the misfits that didn't belong. And growing up, the message that we internalized is that something was wrong with us, okay? We were not enough. We were not worthy. And what I want to tell you is to re-examine that belief if you have that, because I cannot tell you how many people I work with, how many people I come across who I recognize as such powerhouses, such badasses, right? And yet they have no idea of how incredible they are. And it's because we've accepted other people's opinions of who we are. So you don't fit in because you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to lead. You were meant to lead by example. That doesn't mean you're going to necessarily get on a platform and lead anyone. It just means that in your own life, in your own circle, whether it is just you leading your own self, you leading by example of just being authentic, your living an authentic life is going to inspire the ones around you. So, how do you do that? Well, get clear about who you are. Figure out what are your gifts. Because, life happens to us. Hard stuff happens to us. Okay? We get, we go through difficult things, whether we're physically abused, emotionally abused, sexually abused. We're traumatized by certain events that happen. We go through, breakups and divorces and loss and grief. And that's life. That happens to us. But the difference is, how do we choose to react to it? Or do we choose to respond to it? What are the meaning that we're making of whatever's happening to us? It's amazing how we immediately think it's all about us and it must be our fault and whatnot, when really it's usually never about us, even when people tell us it's about us, because it's usually their projection of what they're going through when they're telling us that it's about us. So get clear about what's been going on in your life. Spend some time and just become clear about who you are and what you've gone through. Second thing is, get clear about your gifts. God has given every one of us gifts, whatever they are. And guys, this is 2019. 2020 is, I'm already planning 2020. And it's like, it was mind-blowing to me today to think, oh my God, 2020 is like next year. 2020 is around the corner. And literally, the careers of the future, of now, we don't even know what, we couldn't even have imagined what they were a few years ago. We wanted our kids, our parents wanted us to be doctors and lawyers, right? And even my generation is raising their kids to be a certain career that, we've known to do. And I want to tell you guys, release these limiting beliefs of what life should look like, of how money comes to you, of how you're supposed to make a living. Release that, because, you know, if you hold yourself back with those, you're not going to be able to step into your true gifts. Every one of us has a gift. And I'll tell you, everything that you're going through right now, or everything that you've gone through that has been just ass kicking and so difficult, has actually prepared you to step into what is it that you're supposed to do. But there's work involved in getting prepared, right? Just like a diamond, when a diamond is found, it is just an ugly piece of glass. There's nothing attractive about a diamond that's, you know, uncovered from the earth. But it's when it's chipped off, when the jeweler chips off pieces of the diamond, the more chips that the diamond has, the more valuable the diamond becomes. And just like that, guys, the more chips that life has at us, the more we shine. We are diamonds in the rough. And so the reason why we gleam and we shine is because we allow ourselves to be chipped, and we allow ourselves to be shined and polished by life's difficulties. So by owning your gifts, whatever they are, okay, that's when you start to use your gifts in service of others, that's living life's purpose. Now, you're going to say, well, I still need to pay bills and I still need to make a living. Absolutely. So pay your bills and make your living. But in the meantime, start figuring out what is it you're supposed to be doing. You don't necessarily have to be getting paid to do your life's purpose. Your life's purpose could be something you do voluntarily, could be something you're just doing because that feels good. That's something you do on your own, on your free time. But I tell you, if you truly follow your life's purpose, God will find a way to make that your living, if that's what it's supposed to be. You know, there's two concepts. There's dharma and karma in the Hindu religion, right? We've all heard of the concept of karma. Karma is basically what goes around comes around. It's a universal law. So when people say, well, why is God punishing me? No, God is not punishing you. God is not a punishing God. God is a loving God. It's the law of karma that is in effect. So whatever you do is going to come back to you. Simple as that. God has nothing to do with it. It's your doing, right? Now, dharma is something different. Dharma is your life's purpose. Dharma is your life's, sort of calling. When you live your life's purpose, you're living your dharma. Your dharma is basically you being true to who you are and using your gifts to serve humanity, serve God and serve God's creation, which is everyone around us. So you can't do that if you don't get clear about who you are. You can't do that if you don't really just own 150% of who you are. There's no other person in the world who's like you, with all your imperfections, because guys, we're all imperfect, completely flawed and imperfect, but that's where the beauty lies. So own that. Own your curves, own your flaws, own your imperfections, and of course work on them, but also figure out what your gifts are. Figure out your gifts and use them to serve others. And never apologize for who you are. If you make somebody uncomfortable, that's not your problem. That's their problem, right? So stay true to who you are. Of course, be respectful of others, but not to the point where you're a doormat, okay? And I know that when you start stepping into who you are, you're going to offend people, especially the ones closest to you. As much as they love you, they're used to seeing a certain version of you, and people don't like change. People want to keep you in that small little box. Break the box, step into who you are. Those who love you will stick around and be there. If they don't, they're lost. Because at the end of the day, your happiness, your peace of mind, your joy, your life, your soul's purpose of living its true purpose in this lifetime is priceless. So anyways, love and light. Take care. God bless. Bye.